Sadguru Shri Jagadguru Madatma Sarvabhutatma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Kararvindena Padarvindam Mukharvinde Viniveshayantam Vatasya Patrasya Puteshayanam Balam Mukundam Manasa Smarami. Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Purvam Yo Vai Vedascha Prahinoti Tasmai Tagmangha Devamatma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukchurvai Sharanamaham Prapadye. Dear devotees, please join me in a couple minutes of Nam Sankirtan, and after that I'll begin this week's lecture topic of the special relationship between Shri Krishna and his devotees. Bhajo Giridhar Govind Gopala 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 Bhajo Murali Manohar Nand Lala 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 Bhajo Giridhar Govind Gopala Bhajo
गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला
भजो 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 गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला
बोलो वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की
जय
The topic for this week, this coming week, is the special relationship between Shri Krishna and his devotees. The word devotee is used for the word bhakt. A bhakt, a true bhakt, is a very special designation. Na chalati bhagavat padar lavanimishdha mapiya savaishnavagriya. The Bhagavat Puran defines a true bhakt as one whose mind never leaves the lotus feet of Shri Krishna even for a nimesh, a fraction of a second. We generally use the word devotee more casually, not according to the strict definition. We may even refer to ourselves as devotees. But according to this strict definition, only those whose mind never leave God, even for a moment, are considered to be true devotees. So that is a true bhakt, and such a bhakt has a very special relationship with Shri Krishna. We are more correctly referred to as sadhak. Sadhak means we're trying to become a bhakt. We're following a plan. We're doing sadhana in order to attain the goal of becoming a true bhakt of Bhagwan. So we are sadhak. We also have a special relationship with Shri Krishna. I'll touch on that a little bit this week as well. We have our own special relationship, but really we're aiming for the ultimate relationship with Shri Krishna that his bhakt get to experience with him. Shri Krishna is Bhagwan, Sakar Brahm, Parameshwar. The Bhagavatam also describes regarding Shri Krishna, Avatara hyasankheya hare satvanidhir dvija ete chanshakala punsa krishnastu bhagavan swayam. All forms of God emerge from the body of, or from the personality of Shri Krishna. All the avatar we hear of, avatara hyasankheya, uncountable avatar that have happened on this earth and in other Brahmans all around the universe. They're all from Shri Krishna. He is Swayam Bhagwan. All forms of God are none other than forms of Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna is personified Sat Chit Anand. Tamekam Govindam Satchidananda Vigraham. Ved tells us that Govinda, Shri Krishna, is personified Sat Chit Anand, the Vigraha of Sat Chit Anand. In other words, bliss personified, knowledge personified, eternal life personified. That is Shri Krishna. Although Brihadaranyaka also says, Dvaivava Brahmano Rupe Murtanchaiva Murtancha, that Shri Krishna has two aspects, his personal form and his impersonal radiance, like the light from his body. We call Nirakar Brahma, or referred to in this mantra as Amurt. Brahma as Amurt and Brahm as Murt. Murt meaning with form. That's where the word Murti comes from. And without form, that is also none other than Shri Krishna, but his impersonal aspect. The impersonal aspect we call Nirakar Brahma. You cannot have any relationship, special or otherwise, with Shri Krishna's Nirakar aspect. You can have a concept of Krishna's Nirakar aspect, but it's abstract. You can't have a relationship with an abstract thing. See, when you hear the statement, Krishna's Bhakt have a special relationship with him, something inside you goes, oh, what is that? I want that. But that is only possible because Krishna has a form. If Krishna were only abstract divine radiance, with no form, nothing you could see, taste, touch, hear, or smell, then how would you relate to him? Everyone and everything you relate to in this world has a form. Can you see the idea of electricity is abstract for us, right? Did you know electromagnetic energy is omnipresent in the space around us? It's abstract. We understand it. We can hear the theory and understand it and accept it, but until it's given a usable form, we can't relate to it. The light bulb provides some usable form of that abstract thing. Now, that is not to say that Shri Krishna is initially abstract. He's not. He's initially with form. Purusham Brahma Yonim. Ved says, Purush, the personal form of God, is the origin of formless God. Just like the sun has a form and it is the origin of the abstract light that emanates from it, Shri Krishna is the origin. Formless God is his own emanation. Brahmano hi pratisthaham, Gita. Shri Krishna himself says, I am the pratishtha, I am the base in which formless God exists. Not that formless God is someone else, it's only Krishna, but abstract Krishna. So for the sake of this week's talk, we have no concern with Krishna's abstract, impersonal form because we can't relate to him. We want to know about relating to Shri Krishna. A relationship means love. It means interaction. And you can only have love and interaction with a personal form. This form of Shri Krishna, about which we want to understand how are we related and how can we get that relationship that great saints have, the real bhaktas. We need to understand how to reach that level. And when we reach that level, what will we attain? So that personal form of Shri Krishna, to whom we are related, is omnipresent. This is the first thing to understand. Siya Ram Maya Sab Jag Jani Karau Pranam Jori Jugapani. Bhagwan is not just omnipresent in his abstract, formless existence way. He is omnipresent in his personal form as Sitaram, as Radha Krishna. They are everywhere. Prabhu Vyapak Sarvatra Samana Prem te prakat hohi main jana. Tulsidas ji says, I know that my Prabhu Ram is equally omnipresent everywhere, and that he is made to appear through our love, through our faith, through our devotion. Today I'm just introducing this topic. Tomorrow we're going to be having special chanting sessions in the morning and evening, and Sunday as well we'll be celebrating Haryali Tej, where we put Radha Krishna on a swing and sing Jhulan songs. So Monday through Friday I'll be explaining details about exactly what is this special relationship between us and Shri Krishna and between those Bhakt saints and Shri Krishna. Today I'm just introducing the topic. So Shri Krishna can be made to show himself through our love. We have received this human body, and this is the only chance for us to make God appear before us. Prema te prakata hohi main jana. That omnipresent beloved Lord of ours will only show himself when we are qualified. And what qualifies us is the purity of our love and the purity of our heart. Or you could say the sincerity of our call to him. He doesn't have to come from far. He's right here. One time Shri Krishna joked with Draupadi after, Draupadi was being disrobed by Dushasan, and she had called out to Krishna. Finally, she surrendered to him after looking towards her husband's Pandavas, towards the elders of the court, Bhishma, Kripacharya, Dronacharya, thinking that surely someone would come to her aid. And when no one did, she tried to save herself by clenching her sari in her teeth. But Dushasan was too strong. At that moment, she had nowhere else to turn, and she called out to Shri Krishna, Ha Dwarika Vasin, Ha Nath Dwarika Vasin. So then Krishna appeared. He took his Ambaravatar. He appeared as an endless length of sari, so that no matter how much Dushasan pulled off, more sari, more material appeared on Draupadi's body. So she wasn't disrobed, and Dushasan gave up. So later, when Draupadi and Krishna were chatting, Draupadi said, "Why did it take you so long to come?" Krishna said, "Well, everybody knows I'm omnipresent, so I was already there, but you called me Dwarika Vasin, so I was there in Indraprasth, in Hastinapur, but then I had to go to Dwarika and come back, so it took me a moment." But the truth is, Krishna is everywhere. It's up to us to make him appear, and this birth as a human that we have is the only chance to do that. Manuja dehamimam bhuvi durlabham samadhigamya surairapi vanchitam vishayalam patatam apahaya vai bhajate re manuja kamalapatim. Jagadguru Shankaracharya says, O souls, manuja dehamimam, those who have received this human body, do not squander this opportunity with trifling pleasures and worries of this world. Those go on and on. In this life and all our previous lives and all the future lives, we'll have plenty of pleasures, plenty of desires, plenty of disappointments, plenty of worries and stress. The only real golden opportunity that's in our hand is the chance to make God appear, the chance to attain that special relationship that God-realized souls have with Shri Krishna. No other life form into which a soul can enter can achieve that status of having that special relationship with God, where God gives himself to you, where God becomes subservient to his bhakt, where God and his bhakt become one. The only opportunity for us to do this is in this human birth, which is also charnabhangur. We don't know how long this life will remain in our hands. Someone who has a terminal disease is told by the doctor, you probably have, I can't tell you by the day, but you probably have 2 months to live. So that person thinks they know, okay, 2 months, could be 4 months, could be 6 months, could be 1 day, but they have a pretty short time frame. And the rest of us think, well, life expectancy for someone living in North America is early 70s. So, I have 10 years left, or 20, 25 years, or 45 years left. No, there's no guarantee of that. We have some idea we probably won't live past 110, right? But we could go at any time between now and then. So we're all terminally ill. The illness is called birth. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur mritam janma mritasya cha dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Gita says everything that is born will die. So we all have that terminal illness. We're all going to die, not our soul. Our body is going to die. The thing to keep in mind is this current incarnation of ours. We received a human birth. This is a very special opportunity. We won't die, it's fine. You may say, oh, just the body will die, it's no big deal, I'll be reborn. Yeah, you'll be reborn, but if you didn't use this life for attaining God, Nridehamadhyam sulabham sudurlabham plavam sukalpam guru karnadharam mayanukule nabhasvateritam puman bhavabdhim nataretsa atmaha. Shri Krishna tells Uddhav in the Bhagavatam that this human body is a strong craft, a vessel, a boat to take you across this ocean of Maya. His grace is the wind in our sails, and the true Guru, the God-realized saint, is the helmsman steering us in the right direction. So having received a human birth, if we also receive the association of a true saint who is qualified to be a guru, then we have everything we need to attain the ultimate goal of our life, which is God realization. So if we squander that opportunity, then do you think God will give us this birth again and again and again? Another human life after another human life after another human life? Well, there has to be some consequence for our carelessness, right? When our ingratitude has to hold some consequence, that our divine beloved Krishna went out of his way to give us a human birth. Not only that, but a birth in such a situation where we would not be spending our entire life just worrying about where our next meal is coming from. Because when that's the case, is somebody going to be thinking about what is sadhana, what is Brahmajiv Maya? No. So we haven't been given birth in such a situation. We've been given a certain amount of comfort and leisure so that we can have not much trouble in finding time to do devotion. And then we've been provided with the opportunity of being exposed to the correct knowledge through the teachings of a great saint like Jagadguru Shri Kripaluji Maharaj. So if we are so ungrateful for such an opportunity that we don't try to make use of this chance, then would Krishna again and again, is he that foolish to give us so many human births in a row? And no, he'll say there are so many other souls living on this earth as humans and in other species. Give them a chance. Let this soul go into some other species, have some other births for a while. I'll give them a chance again, maybe in a few million years. So this is the opportunity, and this is the urgency that we need to keep in mind. That's why a great saint says, "Do batan ko bhool mat jo chahsi kalyan, Narayan ek maut ko dujo Shri Bhagavan." Those who want to attain the ultimate aim of their life, they should keep two things in mind. The fact that their death could come at any time, so this opportunity could end any moment, and Shri Bhagavan. Keep God in mind as well. But there has to be a sense of urgency. Otherwise, think of how fast life goes by. If you have kids, they may be young. Before you know it, they're starting their career and their families, and you're thinking, where did the years go? Yeah, your whole life goes by like that. You have to grab each day, not just think, oh yeah, I have to start thinking about my spiritual goals. No, think about it today. Each day has to be an opportunity that we seize. Because the ultimate goal of our life is to meet God. Jeever swarupa hoy, Krishner nitya das. Or in the words of Shri Krishna in the Gita, Mama ivansho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. All souls are his ansh. So technically speaking, we already have a relationship with Shri Krishna. He is our anshi and we are his ansh. We're a part of him. Since we are a part of him and we belong to him, we naturally long for him. And what is he? I already told you, he is personified life, knowledge, and bliss. He is the personification of pure happiness and love. See, in this world, you could say, sugar is the form of sweetness. Why? Well, because can you take sweetness out of sugar? No. It's like the sugar itself has become the form of sweetness. Something like that, Bhagwan Shri Krishna is the very form of happiness. Happiness is a substantially existing thing. In this world, it's so elusive because happiness doesn't exist in anything. You think, oh, listening to my favorite movie song makes me feel so happy. Okay, so there must be happiness in that sound wave, right? Your mind thinks, I'm getting happiness from this music. Okay, then let's scientifically analyze it. If you're really getting happiness from that music, then the happiness must be delivered to you from the speaker through the sound wave into your ear, and it's entering your body or your brain or something. So the happiness is being injected through the sound waves. Okay, then there must be happiness in that music, in those sound waves. Then why does your mom, who hates that song, get unhappiness from those same sound waves? So if there's happiness in that thing, it's entering you and it's entering her. How come you're getting happiness and she's getting unhappiness? Or if I make you keep listening to the same song for 100 hours straight, bhale hi aapka favorite ho, but after 100 hours you'll say, oh my God, main mar jaunga. So, kahan gaya wo sukh? If there's truly happiness in those sound waves, then why did it turn to unhappiness for you? So there's no actual substantial happiness, not in the sound waves of your favorite song, not in the taste of your favorite food, because I can make the same argument. I was talking to someone a few days ago who dislikes chocolate. Just from birth, naturally hates the taste of chocolate. So someone over here is thinking, oh, chocolate makes me so happy. Give me more chocolate. And that person, unko ulti ho jayegi. So is there happiness in chocolate or is there unhappiness in chocolate? So you can't say that the thing you're tasting has happiness that you're getting through the taste. You can't say the song has happiness that you're getting through the sound waves. You can't say your loved one's touch has happiness. Because what if you just found out that your loved one was talking behind your back with someone else and said something nasty about you? Now, when they put your hand on you, does it give you happiness? Right? So, is there happiness in the touch of their hand or not? No. So, that's why it's elusive. The happiness of this world is very tricky. We think it's in something, and when we think we have it, it slips through our fingers. We get bored of our favorite song. The thing we're enjoying eating also gets boring to us. Even a chocolate lover can't go on eating chocolate for 20, 30 minutes straight. Eventually you have to stop. The thing that was giving you happiness will make you unhappy, just like your favorite song will make you unhappy after a while. All of this is to make the point that substantially, happiness doesn't exist in a real way in anything or any person in this world. It's not a scientifically provable existing thing. However, happiness does exist, really substantially. As real as this microphone, as real as water and food and your friend and music, because those things are real, right? The happiness you think you're getting from them is not real. It depends on your mood. It depends on your attachment. It depends on your desire. All of those things affect whether you experience happiness or unhappiness from a person or thing. So it's not a real substantial thing in the world, but the things are real. Well, in the divine world, the things are all made of happiness. What is the actual substance of the divine world? Sat Chit Anand. That is what divine things are made of. What is Anand? Happiness. Thus, God is perfect happiness. God is personified happiness. God is real, eternal bliss. Raso vaisaha rasagvam hyevayam labdvanandi bhavati. Taittiriya Upanishad says God is ras. You know, like mango ras. It's the best part, the juice, the sweetest, or you can say the essence. So, raso vaisaha, God is divine ras, the real substantial happiness. And only by attaining God can a soul become blissful. God is bliss, and we can become blissful if we attain Him, or if we get to experience being with God and having a relationship with Him. Right now, even though God is omnipresent, we can't experience Him, see Him, taste, touch, smell. We can't experience our relationship fully with Him because we can't actually interact with Him until we become qualified. See, right now, according to Vedas, Indriyebhyah parahyartha arthebhyascha param manah manasastu para buddhir buddheratma mahan parah mahatah paramavyaktat. Beyond our senses is our man. Senses are subtle, but more subtle than the senses is the emotional mind. Beyond the emotional mind is the intellectual mind, the buddhi. But beyond buddhi is the soul. The soul cannot be perceived by the senses or known with the mind. But beyond our buddhi, beyond our soul is Maya, because we're all under the bondage of Maya. In fact, our senses, our man and our buddhi are all Mayic, they're all made of Maya. And beyond Maya is God. Purushan naparam kinchit sa kashtha sa paragati. Kathopanishad tells us this whole sequence. Thus, since God is even beyond Maya, which means, as you just heard, God is divine. God is made of Sat Chit Anand. And our senses and mind are made of Maya. They're under Maya and made of Maya. So they can only perceive and know and experience Mayic things. Thus, even if God were to appear in front of us, take avatar right now, we still wouldn't experience that ultimate bliss. We wouldn't taste that true happiness, even if we met Krishna face to face right now. We have to become qualified. And to become qualified, we need to get divine senses, divine mind. Chidanandamaya deha tumhari bigat bikar jan adhikari. Only the qualified one can experience and perceive God's divine form. Tribhir gunamayair bhavairebhi sarvamidam jagat mohitam nabhijanati mamebhyah paramavyayam Gita. Because all souls' senses are infected with Maya, so they can't perceive anything divine. It's like if you have jaundice, piliya rog, and you see something white, you'll swear that it's yellow. So your sense is infected with that disease that gives you the perception that something is yellow when it's actually white. Similarly, even if you were to see Krishna face to face, because your senses are Mayic, you would think you're just seeing an ordinary being. You wouldn't experience the bliss of Krishna's divine beauty. Even if he hugged you, you would think, I get more enjoyment out of when my son hugs me or when my wife hugs me. Why? Mayic mind, Mayic senses, so we're unable to experience the true bliss of Krishna's interaction. So we need to get divine mind, divine senses. God is everywhere, and yet we're unable to experience him. Someone could argue, well, God is bliss, and so we're basically swimming in the ocean of bliss, then why can't we experience him? So think about an ant, a group of ants, a whole nest of ants, and they're out looking for sugar. They found a pile of sugar, and they spend the whole day transporting those little grains of sugar back from the sugar pile and bring them back to their nest. And after spending the whole day, one of the ants at the end of the day when they're resting says, wow, that was a huge mountain of salt. And all the others said, salt? What are you talking about? That was sugar. Couldn't you taste the sweetness? And the ant argued, no, what are you talking about? I will swear to you that was a mountain of salt. I tasted only salt the whole day. So they investigated and they found out that that ant had a lump of salt in their cheek the whole time. So if you fill your cheek with salt and then eat sugar, you'll only taste the saltiness. Similarly, we are Mayic in terms of our senses and mind. So even though we're in the ocean of bliss, blissful Krishna is omnipresent, we taste only Maya. We experience only the ups and downs of this world. So we have to become qualified. And the means of becoming qualified is bhakti. Although Shri Krishna says in the Bhagavatam, Yogastrayo maya prokta nirnam shreyo vidhitsaya jnanam karma cha bhaktischa nopayo nyosti kutrachit. He tells Uddhav that there are three paths. I did describe three paths in the Vedas. Karma, Jnana, and Bhakti. The path of good actions, the path of knowledge, and the path of devotion. Although this is true, yet Bhakti is supreme out of the three. Because punyena punyalokam nayati, papena papamubhabhyameva manushyalokam. Mundakopanishad tells that good karma is good, but it's not enough to take you beyond Maya. It's not enough to give you divine senses and divine mind to experience God. A lot of good karma at most could give you swarg. Parikshilokan karmachitan brahmano nirvedamayan nastya krita kritena. Mundakopanishad tells of some great yogis who could actually experience swarg while in this body. And they explored and investigated and they found out that no, over there also there's the same kind of elusive happiness. Dhokha wala sukh, swarg mein bhi hai. There's no real happiness even in swarg. The pleasures may be more refined and elevated and exciting as compared to here, but it's still not real happiness. So good karma can at most give you swarg, and then you're reborn here on earth. That's why we are told, Nakasya prishthe te sukrite nubhutvemam lokam hinataram vavishanti. It's very foolish to strive for the attainment of swarg, thinking that that is where ultimate happiness is. Because after some time in Swarg, you're reborn here on earth, and you're no further ahead than you were before. Then why is the path of karma told? Because karma can be combined with bhakti. See, surrender is the key. Mat prasadadavapnoti shashvatam padamavyayam. Gita. Shri Krishna says to Arjuna, only through my grace can someone attain divine happiness. Mameva ye prapadyante mayametam taranti te. Only by surrendering to me can they receive my grace, and then I take them across Maya. Tamev sharanam gaccha sarvabhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapsyasi shashvatam. Again from Gita, Shri Krishna says, Arjun, you have to surrender your heart and mind, wholeheartedly surrender to me. Then I will grace you, and with my kripa, with my grace, you will achieve divine status. You will no longer have a mayic mind and senses, you'll get a divine mind and senses. Divyam dadami te chakshu pashyame yogamayishwaram. Shri Krishna told Arjuna in the Gita, you can't see me with your eyes, but since you're surrendered to me, I'll give you divine eyes. And with divine eyes, you can see my true divine form. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti te. Shri Krishna further says, I give a divine mind. To whom? The one who worships him all the time with love. In other words, the one who does bhakti. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. The one who worships him with love continuously. In other words, who does bhakti, he gives a divine mind, and with that divine mind, that soul can know him and experience him. So if the one doing karma also surrenders to Shri Krishna, we call that karma yoga. That takes someone to God, not just good karma. Karma plus bhakti plus loving surrender is karma yoga. So really it's the bhakti that takes that individual to Krishna, but we call it karma yoga. Same with Gyan Marg. Gyan without bhakti can at most give one a purified state of mind, where their mayic mind is established in a pure sattvic state. And the sattva, or the raj and tam of their mind are suppressed. But their mind is still mayic, it's just purified mayic. Like you take a rusty piece of iron, you can purify it and purify it and purify it into stainless steel. But can you purify it to the point it becomes gold? No. For that you need the parasmani. So the jnani can practice his intellectual meditation to that point after many lifetimes where his mind becomes 100% pure. Now he's established in pure sattva guna, so he understands, I'm not the body, I'm the soul. Bas. That's it for him. And that's a great sattvic pleasure he experiences, but he hasn't known Krishna, he hasn't experienced God, and he's not free from Maya. So even the jnani needs Krishna's help. The jnani also has to surrender to Shri Krishna. Otherwise, yen yervindaksha vimuktamaninas tvayastabhavada vishuddha buddhaya aruhya krichrena param padam tatah patantyadhona dritayushmadangraya. In the Bhagavad Mahapuran, Vedavyasji is saying, if that jnani who's attained that state of Atmagyan, self-realization, thinks themselves to be liberated, mukta maninaha. He thinks he's liberated. No. Patanti adhaha. He falls down from that parampadam, the topmost level that a jnani can reach. He falls from there because he failed to surrender to Shri Krishna, and his Mayic mind will pull him back into the world eventually. Because the seed of Raj and Tam is always there, even within pure Sattva Guna. But if that jnani surrenders, Shri Krishna describes this in the Gita as well. Brahma bhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samah sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labhate param. The one who's attained that state of self-realization sees no one as enemy or friend, looks the same on everyone, has no desire, no attachment, but is still under Maya. Therefore, mad bhaktim labhate param. This person in this Brahma bhuta avastha, self-realized state, has to do bhakti. Then Shri Krishna says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tatvatah. Then they know me with my grace. So that practitioner of the path of knowledge had the knowledge that I am the soul. We call that Atmagyan. But with the grace of Krishna, now he knows Krishna. He got Brahmagyan. But what did he have to do for that? He had to surrender. In other words, he had to do bhakti. So karma is dependent on bhakti, jnana is dependent on bhakti, or you could just do bhakti, which is what we're going to discuss this week. The pure form of bhakti without worrying about any affiliation of karma or jnana. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadhyanavritam. Rup Goswami says, practice pure bhakti without the avaran of karma and jnana. You still need jnana, you need knowledge in order to practice bhakti. Don't get fooled by the nomenclature that, okay, that's jnana marg, so in bhakti we don't need any knowledge. No, you need the same amount of knowledge as the one following jnana marg, just we apply it differently in bhakti. The jnani applies it in an intellectual, abstract type of meditation, and we apply it in a loving remembrance. But we still require knowledge. And also don't think, oh, I'm not following karma marg, so I don't need to do any physical actions. Sharirayatra pichate na prasiddhyeda karmana. Gita. If you don't do some physical actions, you won't even maintain your body, and this body is the means of doing devotion. So we have to do karma, and we need jnana, but bhakti is supreme. We don't need to mix them in terms of our spiritual path. We do karma as it's required. We have to fulfill our responsibilities to our family and do what we need to keep our body healthy. So we have to work, we have to study, we have to perform our duties. And we need tattva jnana, we need the correct devotional knowledge. So yes, we do karma and we make use of jnana, but we are not following karma marg. We are not trying to fulfill the ritual prescribed worshipping formalities of karma kand. We are not trying to, on the strength of our intellect, trying to reach a state of self-realization. No, our goal is to achieve that state of union with Shri Krishna, where we get to be in a relationship with him. So what is that special relationship that we as sadhaks have with Shri Krishna, and what is the ultimate relationship that we're trying to attain when we become a real bhakt? This is what I'll be discussing with you for 5 days, Monday through Friday. Keep in mind, tomorrow morning we do have Keertan here from 7 to 9, and then we'll be doing a gardening seva project, planting some shrubs along the fence line. And tomorrow night we'll be having some Julan Keertan. And then Sunday morning as well, from 10 to 12, we'll be doing more Julan Keertan. We're celebrating Haryali Teej. It's the day that we put Radha Krishna on a swing, and we can dress in green as well. We normally dress Radha Krishna in green, and we celebrate the rainy season. And often when Radha Krishna were here on earth during the rainy season, they would go and gopis would arrange a swing somewhere for them, and they would swing. So many Leela Pads have been written by Jagat Guru Shri Kripaluji Maharaj describing such scenes of Radha Krishna doing swinging Leela. So we'll be singing those over the next couple of days. We have a few minutes left here tonight, so I'll do a couple minutes of Keertan and we'll conclude. Radhe Radhe Govind Govind Radhe
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 Govind Radhe
Govind Radhe
Govind Radhe
Govind Radhe
Radhe Radhe Govind 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 Govind Radhe
सरकार की
जय।
श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की
जय।
जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय